Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jacob. I have been sort of going on a Mariah Carey discography deep dive it's been over a year now. I've finished with everything actually. Today I wanted to make a video ranking all of her albums because I've been talking about doing it for months and months, and I sort of wanted to give myself enough time to prepare for the video and listen to the music over and over and over again, and so that's what I did for the past just over a month. I've been listening to all the albums again. I've been favoriting the songs that I like, and I've been trying to be as picky as possible because I don't want to give you like 10 favorites from each album. That would be ridiculous. I'm not going to talk about the songs that I don't like, but there are quite a few actually. Revisiting Mariah's discography has been very interesting for me because I find that I forgot about quite a lot of the deep cuts on the album because they just aren't as memorable to me as my favorites. How it usually works when I react to an album is I listen to the album, I favorite some songs, and I'll listen to my liked songs occasionally, or sometimes I get stuck in like listening to albums over and over and over again. So when I listen to my favorites, that's when I hear the songs that I loved during my reaction. All of the other songs that I didn't favorite, when I was revisiting, I'm like, I totally forgot about this song, and it's kind of okay that I did. Like, there are quite a few albums, especially, with a lot of filler on them, and now that I sort of have distance from the actual reaction, which you can go watch all my reactions if you'd like to hear my initial thoughts, I do feel like there are a lot of filler tracks on her albums. What I wanted to say about Mariah, though, is she is a hit maker. Everybody knows it. She's a certified hit maker. The most number ones of any solo artist for a reason. She has such an ear for what is going to be a hit, especially when you look at her albums. She really does pick like the best songs from the album to be the singles, which is so smart, and I wish every artist did that because a lot of times they don't pick the best songs. Taylor Swift, for example, and then the album, I don't know, is sort of judged based on the one song instead of the best song. And Mariah has no problem with picking the best song on the album. And she really is just like, as far as her songwriting goes, she's very different from Taylor. I'm mentioning Taylor a lot because I love Taylor. You guys know if you watched this channel before. But I feel like Mariah's music lacks specificity, which is a good thing and a bad thing sometimes. I think it's good because a lot of people can relate to it, but it's bad because there's not this deep connection to, I feel like, her songs that there can be if she's being as specific as a, I guess, like storyteller style songwriting, which Mariah does have some storyteller songs and whatever. All this is to say she has the ear for an excellent melody. She's an excellent producer. She collaborates very well with the producers she works with. And that's sort of what I've been reminded with when revisiting her albums, is she is just such a collaborative artist, but such a music genius. Like, melodically, those songs get stuck in your head, and the way she does her runs and her notes and everything just make, I don't know, they're so addictive. I wasn't sure if I was going to rank the Merry Christmas albums and Glitter, but it seems like they're technically part of her like studio albums because this album that's coming out here for it all, September 26th, the day after my birthday, is her 16th studio album. People call it M16, and so I guess that does include them. So I did include them in the ranking, but there's caveats, which I'll explain when I get to them. Okay, my least favorite Mariah Carey album, drumroll please. This is in spot 15, is Memoirs of an Imperfect Angel. Let me just tell you, it is imperfect. Let me find my favorites. I have 2 favorites on this album. And again, I was being very stingy, so there are some other songs that I like or I'm okay with, but these are like 2 songs that I absolutely love, and I wanted to be stingy so that way I could rank this a little better. The 2 songs that I absolutely love from this album are Inseparable and It's a Wrap. Those are my 2 favorites, and then after that, It's a Wrap. Actually, Obsessed, I'm seeing that on here. I maybe should have favorited that one, but it's really, it hasn't ever been my favorite, but I like, it's a fun song to listen to. I'll include it, so maybe 3 favorites. 3 favorites from Memoirs. This album, oh my god, it was so forgettable. I didn't remember any of the songs when I was listening to them. I do think this was like a turning point in her career, and she was really trying things out and being super creative. So I do admire that about this album, but it wasn't my favorite. And again, that doesn't mean it's a bad album. Keep that in mind. I feel like I need to do a lot of disclaimers because people are going to be hurt if their favorite album is last. But that doesn't, I'm not comparing her albums to everybody in the world's albums. This album would be not this low on a comparison to everyone in the world. This is just comparing them to her own songs or albums. The next album is number 14, Charm Bracelet. Okay, Charm Bracelet, similar to Memoirs, completely forgettable. I was listening to these and I was like, have I heard any of these before? I have two favorites from the album. They are Through the Rain, which, my God, is an excellent song. And I Only Wanted. I Only Wanted is so good. When I was re-listening to it, I was like, chills. That's it for Charm Bracelet. Really, really forgettable. Unfortunately, not much here. I do think that the songs that were on here were better than the ones on Memoirs, though, which is why it's ranked higher. Next, album 13 is Merry Christmas to You. I didn't actually re-listen to the two Christmas albums. I just remember loving all the songs from both of them. Merry Christmas to You. I don't remember a lot of those Christmas songs. I remember having really fun with the album, but I also didn't want to re-listen to it for this because I seriously can't listen to Christmas music outside of November and December. So I didn't re-listen to it, but I remember liking it a lot, and that's why it's ranked so low. Sorry. Next is my 12th favorite album from Mariah Carey, and it is Caution. Caution is an album that I want to like a lot because I do think she tried something so different. However, sort of suffered the same thing that those previous two albums that I listed did. Completely forgettable tracks, unfortunately. They're fun. I actually think this album is a lot more fun than the others, which is why it's ranked higher. But my two favorites from the album are GTFO and With You. Other than that, everything else, again, is fun, but like One Mo Gen, no, sorry. I'm sorry. We're going to the next album, which is my 11th favorite album, and that is Rainbow. Okay, my favorites from Rainbow. I have 4 favorites. Those favorites are Heartbreaker, come on, Can't Take That Away, Mariah's theme, Against All Odds, Take a Look at Me Now, which I know is a cover, and Thank God I Found You featuring Joe and 98 Degrees. Thank God I found you. So good. These 4 were really like, wow, incredible. The rest, I was actually, when revisiting this, I was kind of surprised at how much I wasn't drawn to it. My next favorite Mariah Carey album, album 10 in the ranking, is Glitter. Okay, this one's a little controversial because I feel like people would rank this lower, but I actually found this album to be quite good. It was something new for her. It was this sort of, I don't know, unfortunate circumstance that it came out on literally September 11th, 2001. And it has some really great tracks, actually, and I think they're really fun. I have 4 favorites from this album. They are Lead the Way, Didn't Mean to Turn You On, which, by the way, banger, Reflections, Care Enough, and Never Too Far. I do like a few of these other ones, but again, was being picky boy. I like this album. Maybe I like it a little bit more because of, like, Justice for Glitter and all that, but yeah. My next favorite Mariah Carey album, number 9, is E=MC². E=MC² has, oh my god, some really excellent songs. I have 5 favorites. They are Touch My Body, which, by the way, one of my favorite songs of hers ever. So good. Cruise Control featuring Damian Marley. So fun. I love it. I Stay in Love. Love Story. And Heat, which is a bonus track, but I like it a lot. So those are my favorites from E=MC². There's no really real reason. It was really hard to rank these albums because I do feel like she stays in, as far as like genres go or music goes, There are some things about, especially these albums, and actually some of the first ones, that are quite similar. So it's hard to rank them when they have a lot of similar themes. And again, there's not too much specificity in her lyrics. So a lot of the topics that she covers in one song are kind of covered again in another. And again, that's no shade or no hate to Mariah. I seriously love her and her music, and I think she's a legend, but just have to say. Number 8 in my ranking is Me, I Am Mariah, the elusive chanteuse. I forget how to say that. I have 5 favorite tracks from this album. They are #Beautiful featuring Miguel, You're Mine, Eternal, You Didn't Know What to Do, Money, A Bunch of Signs, and One More Try. Those are my 5 favorites from Me, I Am Mariah. I actually thought this was going to be lower on my list, but then when I was re-listening to the album, I actually think that the tracks that I don't love are all better than the previous album's tracks that I don't love. So that's why it's ranked higher. My 7th favorite Mariah Carey album is Mariah Carey, her debut album, self-titled album. I have 5 favorites from this album, and I really do think this could be one of the best debut albums of all time. Her voice in this is insane. It's so good. Here are my 5 favorites. Vision of Love. It started it all. Come on. It's such a perfect song. I Don't Want to Cry. Don't want to cry. Nothing in the world could take me back to where we... It's so perfect. Vanishing. All in Your Mind. And Love Takes Time. To heal when you're hurting so much. All perfect songs from a perfect album. Okay, next album is 6th on my ranking. It is Merry Christmas. This album I have that I favorited all of these songs because they're all just absolute Christmas classics. Like, they're seriously all so excellent. Her voice was at her prime. That live performance I watched of her in the cathedral or the church was incredible. I still think about it. I watched it last Christmas. You can go watch it if you haven't seen it. It's on Patreon for free because I did Reactmas where I react to a video every single day in December. It was so good, and I still think about it to this day, and it is probably the best Christmas album of all time. Actually, I think it is. Also, it has the immortal smash hit, All I Want for Christmas Is You, which, like, come on. This top 5 was extremely tricky because, again, these albums have quite similar sounds, similar themes, and I have pretty much the same amount of favorites on all of them, so it was really tricky to rank. But I have in the 5th spot, 5th place is Emotions. Emotions was an album that, God, I love. And let me tell you my favorites from it. I have 7 favorites from Emotions. They are Emotions, and You Don't Remember, Can't Let Go, If It's Over, Make It Happen. So I actually have 8 because I didn't mark Make It Happen. I've grown to love it. Okay, if you've watched my reaction, you know. I've grown to love Make It Happen. So I guess there's 8. Make It Happen, If It's Over, So Blessed, To Be Around You, Till the End of Time. Those are my favorites from Emotion. Emotion is like kind of this chaotic, quite loud album, but my God, it's so fun. My 4th favorite Mariah Carey album is Daydream. Okay, this one, there's a caveat as well. Daydream, I only have 6 favorites from Daydream, but it includes my favorite Mariah Carey song ever, which is why it's ranked a little bit higher than maybe Emotions and Merry Christmas would have ranked. My favorite 6 are Fantasy, One Sweet Day, Open Arms, Always Be My Baby, come on, When I Saw You, wait, that didn't sound anything like the track that I heard in my head. Forever. Yeah, these songs are just so good. Always Be My Baby is a classic, but my favorite Mariah Carey song ever made is One Sweet Day. I was listening to this on my walk the other day, and it just still like sends shivers down my spine and chills like everywhere. The fact that Old Town Road beat its record like physically makes me sick to my stomach. This song is the best song of all time. It's on the album Daydream, which is why it was ranked 4th. Okay, next is my 3rd favorite Mariah Carey album, and it is, we're getting into the weeds here, The Emancipation of Mimi. Okay, The Emancipation of Mimi I have 8 favorites. 8 favorites from The Emancipation of Mimi. Let me read them to you. This album is just the comeback of the century. It's Like That, We Belong Together, Shake It Off, Mine Again, Circles, Your Girl, I Wish You Knew, and Don't Forget About Us. My God. Chills everywhere. Shake It Off is really becoming one of my favorite Mariah songs, and We Belong Together is in the top 3 of my favorite Mariah songs, for sure. It is just that good. I know it's like the big single, blah, 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 but it's just an excellent song, and this is where Mariah's ear, like, she knew to release that as a single because of how good it is. Next favorite album, my second favorite Mariah Carey album. We're down to 2. Which one is it? It is Music Box. Music Box is an album that I absolutely loved on my first listen and still absolutely love. This is tricky. I have 7 favorites. So Emancipation actually did have more favorites, and same with actually my number 1 album. But I love the songs that I favorited more on these 2 albums than I did on Emancipation. So that's why it's ranked higher. Again, tricky stuff. For Music Box, my 7 favorite tracks are Dream Lover, Hero, Anytime You Need a Friend, Never Forget You, Without You, Just to Hold You Once Again, and All I've Ever Wanted. 'Cause all I've ever wanted. Ooh, actually when I'm looking at this list, it's like this could be number 1. Why isn't this number 1? Let me evaluate my number 1, because my most favorite album from Mariah Carey is Butterfly. Okay, you could probably guess that by now based on what my number 2 album was. Butterfly is my favorite album from Mariah Carey. It is just... I feel like this album was really one of the few, or one of the first, I should say, albums of hers that really has... such a specific theme to it, like Butterfly, growth, spreading your wings, becoming an adult, being a person. My favorite tracks from Butterfly, I have 7 favorites, are Honey, Butterfly, My All, Baby Doll, Close My Eyes, Whenever You Call, and The Beautiful Ones featuring Drew Hill. I love The Beautiful Ones. It doesn't get enough credit, but it's so good. Go listen to it again. I was re-listening to The Roof because so many people love The Roof, and it is one of her few very storytelling specific songs, and I actually was so close to putting in the favorites, but I'm just not completely there yet, but just know it's on my radar. It's slowly growing on me. So that's it. There you have it, my album ranking. I again want to make this as quick as possible, and I feel like I rambled on too much, so I'm going to edit out a lot of this, but thank you guys so much for watching and supporting the channel. I cannot wait for Mariah's new album, Here For It All, which comes out again on Friday the 26th. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel if you want to see my reaction, which I will be posting, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much. Editing Jacob here. I forgot to say, I want to hear your favorites too. So tell me your top 3 favorite Mariah albums. Are they similar to mine? Let me know in the comments. Okay, bye. I love you all. Peace out.